relation to your family today?
Well, my parents, of course, are denying it, and they're embarrassed and ashamed of what went on, actually, in the family. But my brothers and sisters, they won't say yes and they won't say no. They're still in the denial stage, so that's very understandable.
But are you friends with them?
There. Yes, yes.
We're talking about something that the whole audience doesn't know about, but you have written a book about what happened behind the scenes of the happy and successful Jackson family. What happened?
Yes, basically what I did actually was I wrote a book about a story about a family who was abused. And the family happened to be the Jackson family, a very famous family, because I think it's very important to address this issue of abuse and try and put a stop to it. That's basically what the book is basically about, and what went on in our family. And so much when I was a very abusive family.
What happened actually?
Well, there were many types of abuse there. There was physical, emotional, and also sexual abuse. And
did your father beat you up actually?
well, he would beat everyone.
How old were you when he beat you up the first time?
He never stopped. The first time my father ever did anything to me, ever hit me, beat me, was when I was about, I was in the first grade, actually.
And why did he beat you up?
It was the first grade. Because of my report card.
Wasn't good enough?
It wasn't good enough for him. The comment that the teacher made, the teacher said I didn't speak in school. And I didn't speak in school because there was so much abuse around the house. I was afraid. I was afraid to say the wrong thing. So I didn't know you didn't take it out of the house and take it to school. So as if I didn't speak in school at all because of that. But he was just a very violent person. He would take guns and hold it to our heads, pull the trigger, and laugh and think nothing of it.
And laugh?
Yes, laugh constantly.
Did he actually enjoy
He enjoyed
hurting
doing
you?
it.
And
Yes. I think he found pleasure in it.
And how did your mother react?
She allowed him to do these things. There were times when she would say, "No, Joe, no. What if there's a bullet in the gun?" He goes, "Kate, I know what I'm doing," because he's a collector of guns. And he would always just pull it to your head and pull the trigger constantly. He would do this all the time, and he would take matches and burn our toes with it while we were asleep. And you know, you wake up and your toes are burning. You feel the sensation of burning fire on your toes, and you can't do anything about it because he's your father and you're afraid that he's going to hit you if you say no, stop, or whatever. So you have to sit there and take the pain. You look down and he's laughing. He thinks it's funny. And lots of things he did. Whatever mood he was in, he'd come and take it out on us. Michael had a very bad habit of sucking his finger, you know. My father would get enjoyment out of sticking it in cayenne pepper and making him suck it after that. Okay, now you want to suck your finger here, you suck it. You just constantly dip it in pepper, hot pepper.
But how come all these horrible things happened and still you could smile, you could act, you were 9 kids, you were the Jackson 5 famous, happy. How did it go together?
That's why I call it a life of a lie that we all lived, because our parents always told us to smile for the camera and pretend as if nothing was wrong. And in America, as you all know, we were sort of like quoted as the perfect image of an all-American family. And so we had to live up to that reputation no matter what. And we couldn't let people know that there was so much pain and so much torment and brutality that went on behind the scenes. We all kept it quiet. We all denied it. We never spoke about it.
Why doesn't any one of your siblings support you now when you reveal the truth about your family?
Because it's something that you keep quiet. It's a stage that you go through, a denial stage. You have to remember that you're dealing with a dysfunctional family, and a family like this will not speak out. I didn't speak out. I was asked this question so many times, was there abuse in my family? And I would deny it because I think other people saw through it. There are some people at certain companies that work with us, and they saw certain things that happened. But you deny it. You pretend like it didn't happen because you're embarrassed. You're ashamed. So you say no.
A couple of years ago, you posed in Playboy, and that was a very big thing to do for someone who was a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
And you really rebelled against your parents. And now you did it again.
Yes,
you
I did.
posed again.
Yes.
How come? Why did you do it this time?
The first time I did it, my mother called me and said, "As long as you live, don't you ever do that. I'll never speak to you." That was 3 years ago. And I would call her constantly, and she'd hang the phone up in my face. And I said, that control is still there, still dominating my life, still controlling me, telling me what to do. This was my punishment for posing, not speaking to me. So I said, okay, fine. She's punished me enough. I'm going to do it again to show her I don't care.
So you did it just to rebel against your mother?
Yes, to let her know. It doesn't matter what you say.
You wrote this very, very serious book, and at the same time you post in Playboy and you promote an album, Sex Box. Do you understand that people think that it's all a kind of promotion?
Yeah, probably, yes, I can understand that, but it wasn't intended that way, though. The book is the most important thing, of course, that I've done, because it's an issue to address child abuse, to try to bring an end to it or curb it, to get rid of this problem. However, contractually, I was obligated and obliged to do a record, and the record company had me stop my promotion and come over here and promote my record.
So you don't really want to promote your record, you want to promote your book?
Well, the record's nice, don't get me wrong. It's a very nice record, I like it very much, but I was in the process of promoting my book and working on the book, but if the company says you have a contract with us and you have to promote it, that's what you have. Well, you know about contracts, that's what you have to do.
It's a very tough business.
Yes, it's like, why now? But you have to do it.
So who do you trust?
No one.
Not a single person in the world?
No, no one.
Do you think you will ever trust anyone?
I don't know. I've never trusted anyone, and I think it's probably because of my background or the way I was raised. And I don't know, I feel comfortable not trusting anyone. You can't trust anyone. You really can't. If you can't trust your own parents, who can you trust?
Maybe you meet somebody really nice who loves you.
I hope so. I hope one day I do.
I feel so sorry for you, really.
No, don't feel so sorry for me.
No? But you're not a very happy person, are you?
No, but I'm much happier than I used to be. Now that I've written this book and I've gotten it out of my system, I'm much more happier than I used to be. I feel like a human being. I feel free now. I feel like I can breathe, and I don't have to live in shame anymore. So it's good for me that I wrote this. It was like therapy for me. And I certainly hope that my brothers and sisters speak out, because they will feel a lot better too.
Okay, I understand. I just want to ask something more, because tonight in the show we're speaking about another subject. You write in the book that your brother Michael, he made cosmetic surgery because he had a lot of pimples when he was a teenager.
Well, it wasn't because of the pimples.
But why did
he did have a lot of pimples, yes. But my father would always tease him about his nose. He would always, it wasn't so much a tease, he would always just aggravate him and say, your nose is so big and it's so ugly, and look at it. Oh, it's disgusting, I can't look at you. Turn away from me. He would tell him this. And Michael was embarrassed and ashamed of it. So he had his nose done. But he was never pleased. He kept getting it done over and over and over and over again. He was never satisfied. Never.
And why did you do your
I did my nose because I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it? I think you were so pretty before.
I didn't like it, so I changed it. And I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm a very open person. If I don't like something, I change it. And I didn't like my nose, so I changed it.
Okay. Did you change anything else?
Just my nose. Yes.
Do you think that people in your business today, in show business, kind of have to do cosmetic surgery?
They don't have to. I think they do it because they want to. I think basically everybody I know in this business has done it. Everybody in this business. You'd be surprised at all the entertainers and the actors and actresses that have done this. It's nothing that's unusual. It's very common, especially in America.
Is there any stop to it at all?
Well, I don't know how far other people go. I just know I've done my nose.
Okay, so what about the future?
Well, of course, I'm here for my single, Sex Box, and we talk about the book instead. I have to promote that, and perhaps I'll keep going with that. But as I was writing the book, it took me 3.5 years, and I was offered a lot of movie roles, but I turned them all down because the book was far more important to me. So perhaps I'll consider some of them. Maybe I will.
Might be a movie the next time.
Yes, maybe, perhaps, yes.
Okay. Good luck to you, Latoya.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming
You're
here.
welcome.